How we doing today?
Doing great, man. Back again. Back again for
Back
another
again.
episode.
That's right, man. These these getting easier and easier. I think as we flush these episodes out, ideas just we talk about these topics. Some might cross over, but I like to. I say this because like 2 days ago, I went and rewatched like episode 4 or something, and you can just see the growth in both of us, just how we discuss our opinions on certain topics, and just in the matter of 4 to 10. Now we're filming 11, so it's definitely been a learning experience for both of us. But yeah, man, how's your day been?
Man, today's been great, a lot of surfing the web, taking care of some errands, but today's been a great day, But days like this where it gets rough is that's when it's a great day because it could be a whole lot worse, you know. For
Oh
somebody
yeah.
out there, it's a lot worse, right? So
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we're
yeah,
we're definitely grateful for what we have. What's your kind of process like to get to find that groove? I was just talking to you, off air before you press record. I'm kind of feeling off today. What's your move when you're feeling just not yourself, whether it be in a creative sense, like you can't find the rhythm you're looking for, or just in that mental clarity you're kind of searching for. What's your go to?
for me, it's always been journaling, writing down, creating a list, and really sleep. Like sleep is very, very important. Obviously, everyone hearing this should know that, but take the nap. A lot of people don't like to take naps like during the day. If you're fortunate enough to be able to work from home and take naps, work that in. What is it? The Pomodoro timer. I have this set up on Apple shortcuts. So it's right there, 45 minutes. A good 15 minutes, lay on the floor, kick your feet up. Hey, that always works for me, man. So, and then, what's another way? Uh, keep a little bit of Adderall residue in your back of your teeth. There's a lick back there, and that'll kind of zap you into it. Some type of nitro coffee or something like that. That will also get you going. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, man, it's today has overall has been a great day. I would say. I was online looking at some stuff, and most people who's hearing this broadcast might not know this, but I declared war on the tech space a couple years ago, which is odd. Working at a so-called tech company by day, but by night, it's my goal to destroy technology. People might see it. There has a Matrix theme to this thing we got going, and I saw this video from OpenAI online uh, uh, from Mira. I forgot her last name. I think she's like Italian or something. Don't really care about her role. I know it's one of those high roles. And she was discussing how creative jobs might be go away, the power of what OpenAI will be able to do. And people were they were bothered by this. I wasn't necessarily bothered by her saying that creative jobs will go away, but more in the sense of these techno people obsession with destroying things. Like it's a weird thing. It's something is there's always a way to streamline something that is like never attacking them. It's a weird thing. Like things that's actually harming humanity, technology never figures out a way to like get rid of that or make that process better. But it's always some industry, some type of labor force, some type of other uh, corresponding whatever that needs to be done away with, eliminated, streamlined, but never like streamlining itself, never opening opportunities to something. Is all it just makes things more difficult in the long run. A lot of people don't know, and there's actually an article we put on the screen about the heat that's been going on in America, for instance, everywhere around the world. But there's been a lot of high intensity systems. Myself being here in Houston, there's it's been like a lot of rain, a lot of weird weather stuff going on. Most people don't know, but like stuff like Chat GBT, the whole Bitcoin thing, just your regular oil and gas. These people create issues on the planet. Like people, they hate the little girl, forgot her name, who's always talking about climate change. We'll put her picture up there too. But like these people are really destroy the environment, right? Like they really like cause issues in our society with energy, which in turns destabilizes things. That's why we have migrants. I don't know if we talked about this on a previous podcast, but when you see migrants, that's the same thing as Hurricane Katrina or Flint, Michigan. It's just it don't look like it, but it's kind of the same thing. People, civil engineers, tech people, governments do too fucking much and cause people to migrate, destroy lands. So I have a real issue with what she said, not for the creative jobs. My job as a creative is secure because unlike the people she's talking about, I have no problem working with small to medium businesses at brick by brick, right? But the overall thinking of why is it always something being has to go away? Why is nothing ever being developed or flourish? And that's my tangent on this good day.
No, yeah, man, that's some great points there. When you sent me this, I couldn't help but think of, back when Stable Diffusion and Dolly, they were kind of, really coming to light, and people were really discovering the capabilities of these things. And something I always saw was like, it was kind of hard not to take it to heart because people would be posting shit like, graphic designers are out of a job and stuff like that. And to the common man, I can see why the capabilities of AI in visual art can influence a statement like that. However, there's nothing that can top like my creative intelligence, your creative intelligence, your skill in a program. Like, yes, if you want to lean on an AI tool to like, mock you up some concepts of a landing page, like cool, do it. But like, you're gonna need that manual step next to really convert and really just be in touch with the people and give them some deliver something that converts. So yeah, I mean this, like, I don't know how I really feel about it. I think that they're definitely, I mean, it goes without saying that AI is putting people out of jobs every minute now. However, I think the creative space has a longer lifespan in this than people give credit for. So yeah, I'll let people do their AI art all day. Just I think we can stand for a long time. So
Yeah, yeah, and the weirdest thing is art and design is not the same thing. A lot of people have trouble with that. Like we are related, but we're not the same thing. Art is expression, design is problem solving. It has an actual function. My personal preference in art, my art style, what I'm into does not matter for that client. That client might hire me because they like my personal taste or my style, but at the end of the day, you as a designer need to be able to adapt. And tools like Chat GBT or just the whole open AI thing, which I still have the pro account, the plus account to this very day. It helps me with things like setting up frameworks, outlining presentation decks. Hell, I just had to send an email I didn't feel like writing, so I just put something in ChatGPT, right? So it definitely has this function, but the problem solving aspect of it, I think, is something that a lot of people don't understand about design, and why I do a lot of the work I do outside of work and outside of this broadcast is because a lot of people are misinformed, and it gives credence to these techno fascist people who um, they have very weird fantasies like these Sam Altman, the rest of his little crew, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, like we right now can't see it. Like we can't see how these people are sociopaths. This people in slavery, slaves, they didn't see nothing wrong with the presidents or nothing. They started naming themselves after the president because they adore these people. They had so much reverence for them, even in bondage. And today we're kind of the same thing. We don't realize um, the sickos that are at the helm, and that's why the liberal arts, whether it's writing, design, art, whatever, is so important because it gives balance to uh, the evolution of man. But I think you were talking about something about someone's adding notes to a new app.
Yeah, so YouTube's kind of taken from what I would deem a success that Twitter or X has seen. I think it's a great feature. You see bullshit all day you scrolling on that app. The community notes, that feature allows the user to kind of get you know a confirmation right away that, look, this is bullshit, or like, they do the tagline, okay, like, this actually happened XYZ, or this didn't happen in 2009, this happened in 2012 and it was completely different than the post is saying. It's very important to address the problem of, like we discussed last episode, misinformation, spread of misinformation. So to see YouTube do this, I think it's a step forward. We know that video, kind of the perception and the psychology piece behind, like, as a human intakes a video clip, it stays with us. Seeing the motion and the liveliness to it, it can be very it can be more convincing and telling in a certain way. So to have the community notes to kind of, like you say, combat misinformation, I think is a great step forward. And not to take it back real quick, but I really like your breakdown of art and design, and I think that needs to be called out more. So, you said design is problem solving. I think that, people need to decipher that for what it is. I think people, misconstrue and kind of think design is all about aesthetics now. In a world that we're going, you see aesthetics driving the numbers a lot. People think that that's what's doing it because it looks so clean and aesthetic and welcoming and warm and all that stuff. Like, yes, it plays a part into it, but what's the problem they're solving? So, my question to you now is just, me picking your brain. I know you have a lot of expertise in this field. On the smaller business side, right? So when a company comes to you, right, whether it be a individual freelance endeavor or brick by brick, what's some of the key problems that they are looking to solve, or they might be naive on. They might have to tap you on the soldier to be like, look, what are we doing wrong? What problems need to be addressed? In terms of design and problem solving, what do you see common in today's digital world as these businesses are kind of taking in clientele and they need to get their shit right? What are some problems that are most important to address?
Well, I would say it really goes back to the basics, and I think Chris Do and Marty Nita. I don't want to say his name wrong, but we'll reference it. They had this conversation about what branding is, and when it's time, I think Michael Beirut kind of speaks about this, about you shouldn't really start branding until you get to a certain dollar amount. And I think what people are miss is they when a client, when a person comes to you for design, what they've already thought in their mind what that would look like. So let's take for example small medium businesses in your hometown, wherever, right? They open a coffee shop. This person has already dreamt, thought about, research what they think they want a logo to look like, what they want a logo to look like, with their personal style. And that's how you end up with the Canva stuff, them hiring their cousin Chuck to design a freaking logo. What you as a designer, if you're freelancing or you have an agency, should do is look at it from this aspect. You probably went to school for visual communication. You're communicating an idea. That does not mean your personal taste. Me, black guy from Houston, Texas, I can own a Starbucks, but I can't have it, the Starbucks uh, mermaid with a damn orange beanie on, right? With my aesthetic. I mean, that can work. I mean, Hooters works, right? The other place works, but what you have to figure out what that demo wants to be successful. So doing those brand strategy things, doing better uh, discoveries, doing more research, and building upon that. What's that tone? What's that voice? What's that mission? What's the values? All that stuff you do before you even open a Photoshop or open an Illustrator or whatever tool. Doing that will set you up to make that process better, because that client isn't thinking, the client is thinking about themselves and their legacy and their vision. And that's not what it's about. A brand, you know, what keeps people there, right? Like it's people get it mixed up with marketing. They want to get sales, but then once they get the sales, it's like, how do you keep the sales there? You do that by setting up those mission, that value. You making sure everything is concise and makes sense. You can do that without a logo. You can build a website with just some good ass copy, just white, black, and if that's it, no logo, and you still will be successful. You see it with every major company. Their logo is nothing, right? It's just like a little mark, And here we are, even us, for example, we're doing all this opulent, crazy stuff, right? Like when the major brands just Helvetica, Future, right? Because they did all that other work to make that brand come alive. So I would say that. I know I said a mouthful, but I think that within itself, brand strategy is completely overlooked, and it should be invested in more as a designer for sure.
Love that. No, that's the answer I was looking for. I knew you had some. That's why I asked. And if you're out there and you want to work with the best, I mean, hit our line where we'd love to work with you and solve those problems for you. You're right. A lot of these companies, especially trying to get off the ground, they harp on the visual component so much, and I've been guilty of it too. Like back when I was in college trying to drop ship, and I would spend so much time on what the logo looked like, and then I'd start thinking about like just other visual components of the brand, not so much like, okay, how do I lead this customer to the web page? What copy are they going to read? Are they going to follow on Instagram right after? Are they going to tell their friends about it? Influencer marketing, like there's so many pieces to it that it really isn't just just a logo, like a cool looking logo. And I think when you work with a lot of people that may not be as knowledgeable on the subject, they just want the new logo, they want the new look, they want to go show their friends, they want to get it plastered, screen printed on a t-shirt, go show their friends. That's what it's all about. It's all about like revamping that visual identity rather than like building a brand story, strategizing, putting the pieces together. So no, I love your answer. That was great. But just back to the YouTube community notes. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much wrapped it up on that. It's just going to be addition. They're rolling it out, I think, to a select few at the moment. So again, it should be good just as a general consensus, like on the public and how we perceive information. And, YouTube is like the biggest platform in the world right now. So I think that any step taken toward spreading misinformation specifically on YouTube, is a good play.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be cool to see. I wonder if it's man, it's just so many videos. I like the feature on Twitter. Some of it's kind of like I don't know. It's more opinion than it is actual facts a lot of times, but I still think it's a cool thing. I don't watch too many videos that I feel um, have misinformation, and if it is misinformation, it's on purpose. But what's funny, what I saw actually is, you know, uh, Netflix is planning to have a physical locations, like physical stores, in 2025. Um, that's cool to see. So my question to you is, have you been to like a iPic or something like that, or these places where you sit down and eat a whole meal with a blanket or
Yes,
something?
yes.
Would you do that for a Netflix experience?
Yeah, I think I would. Like it kind of combines like blockbuster and the experience of watching the film. Yeah, I definitely would. I love I went been to iPic in Houston, and then we got a spot in Chicago around the corner, Alamo Draft House. But yeah, I like that experience. Put your feet up, order food, press a little button. It's nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be dope. I'm thinking I pick mixed with a Dave and Buster's. I feel like they would have some type of activity thing in there. I think it a cool move. I don't think it's going to be this industry standard like in every major city. You have a Netflix to check out, but in select places, it could be a dope look for sure. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, man, and it's I'm sure every big like streaming platform, like it's so polluted now. Like I feel like everything is getting to the streaming apps. Like a lot of movies are going straight to streaming, right? They go or and TV shows or whatever. Like they go straight from production to streaming service. They pitch it, they sell it. Netflix, Hulu, Max, all that shit. So that's the way we're moving now. It's kind of like I love going to sit down and watch a movie at the theaters. I don't think that'll ever get lost. However, I do love a good, just stay in and watch, in your living room. So I think the streaming services they just have to kind of step apart from the others. Like, what can they do to be different? You're talking about Netflix doing physical locations. That's essentially breaking the barrier for what they were always, they've always been a streaming service online. They step into that brick and mortar physical space. They're switching it up. They're getting in the mix, boots on ground. They get some foot traffic. Like you're saying, I think that's great opportunity for some marketing events, some just activities with people. They show up, they start doing like you know this like trivia thing where they have these users that if you're showing up, you probably you binge a lot of shows, you like Netflix. They start doing these like competition type events. You have to list out different shows, different cast members and stuff. Like there's definitely opportunities for growth there. So like kind of diving into this a little bit, what streaming service do you think is just hitting the mark right now? Do any like individuals kind of stand out, whether that be an advertisement you saw on social media, a commercial, a Super Bowl commercial, or just how they position themselves in the space. Has there anything like that's called out to you or anything like that?
You know what? This is God. I hate this answer because they haven't did anything advertising wise or anything like that. But Apple TV, Apple has a bunch of good ass shows on it that are just solid, good TV shows. Everything about it is like perfection. I really hate that for me. I'm gonna buy a Google Pixel soon so I can like get into that ecosystem. But Apple TV is perfect. Apple everything is like low key perfect. And I don't know why I don't want to be like this bandwagon Apple person, but I was watching a show on there called Dark Matter. I'm not going to get into it, but it's just perfect. And it's like, wow, it's never talked about, right? Like you don't really hear anything about it, but it's a great platform. I'm a big HBO Max person. Um, they're cool, but yeah, no, it's Apple TV. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, and I say that like I still have Apple TV. I've thought about canceling in the past just because I felt like I wasn't using it. I watched Ted Lasso. I mean, it's been over a year since I finished that show. I just started Presume Innocence with Gyllenhaal on there. I've seen the Dark Matter show. I want to check that one out. I watched Silo, a couple others, good ones on there. I think something that stands out. I remember they did like a stream of I gotta look it up, but like a soccer, a football game. They sponsored it like through Apple TV. They streamed it, and I think that's how they really stand out. Like Amazon just did the K dot performance and that whole event. So
Yeah,
I think those kind of like appeal to their brand and what they stand for, kind of sticking out in the culture, like kind of making them a part of something that's going on in the world. So we're going to continue to see that. Hulu's going to pop out with a partnership with XYZ and they're doing this and that. We're going to keep seeing how they can stand apart from the rest. Because, like I said, it just kind of gets polluted and then they're all the same streaming platform. Like right now, this show is on, Netflix. In 6 months, when their contract's over, it's going to be signed to Hulu. The shows just rotate in that fashion. There's a lot of business behind it, but that's just how it works. So, although Apple TV, I guess there's like that's how they write up the contracts. Apple TV shows like have always stayed on Apple TV. I don't see them kind of gravitating toward others. So, I think that's how Apple TV, like you're saying, has kind of positioned themselves to be that signature staple. They hold true to what they are, and they keep the same shows and just continue to put out good shit. So um, yeah, and then you got like Amazon. They do like Thursday night football streaming on Amazon Prime. So you see different things how they kind of set them apart from just being a normal streaming service. So uh, yeah, Apple TV. I'm gonna check out that Dark Matter show. It's sci-fi, right?
yeah, yeah. Where applied is a great show. It's I just watched it by accident one day, and man, and I paid the little Apple Premiere one with the 2 terabytes. So I was like, man, if I'm paying this, let me see what's on here, and I got into it. And I don't even watch TV like that, so yeah, it was definitely great.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna check that show out, man. And I don't know if you got time. I know you got a lot going on, but that show with Gyllenhaal is pretty good. There's a show with I'm blanking. It has Scott, guys in Parks and Recreation. I don't know. It's also pretty good. I started another one like Mankind. It's like an alternative story, how the space race went. Um, I don't know. It was okay. I didn't finish it, but Yeah, we'll see what the streaming platforms do. They'll, one of them is going to stand out sooner or later to become the biggest one, I think. But I don't know. But cool. Well, I mean, this was solid, man. I appreciate we appreciate everyone for stopping by. Another episode in the books. Another episode uploaded. We're gonna have to, push out another one this week. I noticed before this call, just so you know, because I'm gonna be out on the water next week, and then out of office. So we're gonna have to push out another one. Maybe do like a shorter ep to cover the bases. So yeah, this is a good one.
Sure. Yeah, man.
Cool. Well, all right.
Get your feet in. Get some sun. Don't get seasick or anything like that. But
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I've always gotten motion sickness in my life. Like it's always been a problem riding in a vehicle or on a plane or on the red line and shit. But I don't know the boats, like, or at least like the cruise ship. I've been on two cruises like back in 2015 or something like that. Yeah, I was fine. So yeah, looking forward to kind of taking some time off. It is going to be kind of hard to not think about work and, more importantly, just like other stuff we have going on outside of our day job. So but I am looking forward to kind of getting some sunshine and yeah, distance myself from the screens. Gonna bring one or two books to dive into on the boat. So yeah, that'll be cool.
hey, man, that's another one in the books.
Another one down. Episode 11. We appreciate everyone for tuning in, and as always, staying this long. We really do appreciate it.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Till next week.
Peace.